What is a jewelry design center?
JDC is a family-owned business with deep roots in Montana. Why Montana? Because this community made us. Made us family, made us artisans, made us believe in love, made us hometown heroes. Because this community made us shine. Why Montana? Because Montana is home.
Treasure State University of Montana football is a way of life. Lithia Ford has long been a proud sponsor of Griz football, and Lithia Ford of Missoula is thrilled to have several of the best Montana football seniors driving the best trucks in Montana. Aspen Sound is the premier car audio and accessory shop in Montana. Aspen Sound makes sure the boys are riding in style with tinted windows and state-of-the-art stereo systems. There's always a party in Montana. Whether you're going to a concert, a wedding, or a football game, the Montana Party Bus will get you there. Skyline Sports and ESPN MT cover the Big Sky with more depth than anyone. Check out SkylineSportsMT.com and tune in to Nuanez Now on 102.9 ESPN Missoula every day. My Montana Roots and Wear Your Roots clothing is your go-to spot for the most unique and comfortable lifestyle clothing you'll find anywhere. And get your custom t-shirts to support your favorite player. From 5 local businesses who love Montana, best of luck to the Griz as they pursue another Big Sky Conference championship.
Montana returns this week after a win over Portland State to head across the divide to Montana State. With us, we've got senior captains Trevin Gradney and Nick Ostmo. And, Coach, we'll start with your wrap-up thoughts from the win over Portland State as Montana enters Rivalry Week.
Thanks, Tabes. Yeah, it was great to get our 8th win on the season. I thought we played really well on defense in the first half in particular, and then we got going on offense and went and took the game in the second half. So our guys played hard. They're really competitive, and I thought they did a great job, kind of taking some adjustment stuff at halftime and going out and taking the win the second half. So good on them, and now we get to talk about the rivalry game. The home team's dominated this game recently, and we're the road team this week. So I don't know, they're rolling. They really had a great season. I don't know that anyone gives us a great chance to go down there and win, but we're excited for the game, and we'll go down there and try our best to get our 75th win in this series. So, Coach Vigen's done a really nice job this season. Have a lot of regard for the job he does. In fact, I cast my ballot for him this morning to be the regional coach of the year. So that's what I think of the job he's done. I was actually waiting until the Davis game got over to see which one of those guys I was voting for. Tommy's had a good year. Very productive. Sometimes your best ability is availability, and he's been able to stay healthy and play throughout the season, which is good for their football team when he can do that. And then the other guy that kind of sticks out on the other side of the ball is Brody. I was able to be around him some at the league meetings this summer and really enjoyed him. He's had a really good season and a good career. It seems like forever ago he was in camp, and we were watching Roundup High School film, watching him, and now he's playing in his last one of these, and he's had a really productive year too. So, obviously it's a tall task to go down there and win this game, and we're going to do our best.
Questions?
Coach, with how much has changed in college football to have this rivalry, one of the oldest in the country, and to be a part of it as you have for so long, what's that mean to you?
Well, there's a lot of change. You look at the games, Texas and A&M are back to playing. That's kind of cool. Kansas and Missouri don't play anymore. There are still a lot of good ones left, and, I hope one of us doesn't leave the league and end up having this one go away. That'd be terrible.
For both the players, what do you think you get? What do you think of the position you put yourselves in, and what do you think about this game on Saturday?
Go ahead, Nick. I like everything's still in front of us. I like to look at it like that, and I think we're a team that has yet to really flourish in all aspects of the game. So we'll go try to do that on Saturday, and we're excited.
Yeah, just like Nick said, I think we haven't quite put it all together yet, but I think we can. And I'm looking forward to this team just taking this week by storm and doing what we can to try and get this win.
Bobby, Montana State runs the ball so often and so well. What do you see in the run game that makes them so hard to stop on the ground?
Well, they make you account for it's an option-based system, so they make you account for the quarterback, and they do that a variety of ways. It's fairly generic up front, but they've got a lot of movement around it, and they mess with your eyes. And you got to count again. You get the best player is the quarterback, and you got to account for him on every play.
Bobby, you mentioned about the home team winning each of the past 4 games, and it's been in pretty decided fashion on the scoreboard. Why do you think that's been the case?
Home team played better. I mean, that's simple.
For Nick and Trevin, you guys have embraced going on the road and that road warrior mentality. Do you embrace going in as the underdog, playing that role this week?
Yeah, for sure. I think it doesn't really hurt being the underdog, and it'd be really cool to be the underdog and go get a win. So it's not a bad title to have.
Yeah, I think Coach Hauck does a really good job of us when we go on the road. It's just us, no distractions, and just taking that game and doing what we can to win on the road. But yeah, we always enjoy going there, and it's fun being the underdog. It's always good.
Trev, being a Montana guy, what was it like for you growing up watching the rivalry, and what's the experience been like for you getting to play in it the past few years?
Yeah, growing up it was always fun to watch. I always tuned in whenever they were playing, but playing in it's a lot more fun, and looking to get my 3rd win in this one, so it'll be good.
And for Nick, being growing up in Oregon, out of state, just what have you kind of learned about this rivalry and its importance in your time here?
I've just kind of seen how important it is to the Montana guys throughout my time here, and it's kind of become that important for me the longer I've been here, and it's a big deal around here, so it's a big deal for me.
Just being here in Missoula, just your guys' dedication to the Missoula community, why is that important?
5 or 6 years ago, we sat down and just kind of decided that this is the path we need to take. If we're going to be a community-based business and support this community, and we want the support in return, we have to dive into it. So we did that. We've dove in. We like to support the youth of the community through sports and different organizations that support the youth in the community. But for the most part, we just made that dedication that as a locally owned company, with some of our competitors not being locally owned, we wanted to take that dive in and go after it. And
you guys have, like you said, attached yourselves to the sports world so much, the Griz and youth sports as well. Why is that part important to you?
I'm a big sports guy. I grew up hockey, baseball, football. Brothers all played sports. My daughter's a gymnast. My son's a hockey player. So it's in our blood too. But just knowing that's how I've met. I coached our high school hockey team here in Missoula for 8 or 9 years, and I met so many great families, and I'm more proud now of the kids that I write reference letters for than I did of the state championships we won. I like guys that are like, hey, I'm going to be a pilot. Can you write me a reference letter? And I'm like, yeah, that's great. You bet. So I'm way more proud of that than I am of any wins or losses.
What have you thought of the way hockey has taken off in Missoula? There's great adult league. Griz hockey is booming now. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, we've got a lot of guys and gals that just dove into building it. And I came here 24 years ago, and when I started playing in the men's league, I think there were 8 teams total.
Now there's like 100.
There's 8 teams in every division, and there's 12 divisions. Yeah. It's great. We had, at one point, I know we had one of the 10th largest men's league, and I know guys like Trevor McLeod and that were out there really promoting it and growing it. And I think if we had a couple more sheets of ice, we could really blow it up even more. I'm not one that I can get up at 11 o'clock at night, play till 12:30, and then get up for work the next day. So I don't get to play in all the games. But yeah, it's taken off for sure for both boys and girls across this area. It's great.
And Nick and Trevin, after that, just being your last time playing in this rivalry game, just what are the emotions like for you guys knowing it's the last one for you?
I don't think we really like I don't look at it as like the last rivalry game. It's just at the end of the day, it's just another game. So we got to go out there and play and go get ourselves a win.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Just another game in Week 12 for us. Trying to get our 9th win, 75th in the series, and just doing what we can to do that. So,
Coach, you touched on Brody, but Montana State's defense as a whole, what kind of stands out about them? They've kind of battled through some injuries, it looks like, throughout the year, but still pretty strong defense in the league and FCS at large.
I think they play hard. They have a good understanding of where they fit, in particular in the run game. So they're very consistent in that way.
Similar question for you, Nick. Just as you looked at Montana State, or as much as you have, just what kind of stood out about their defense and what you know about them so far?
I haven't gotten much chance to watch them, just whenever I could throughout the season. But they're good up front, and they play hard and get ball carriers down and limit the big plays. So they're pretty good at what they do.
And Trevin, as we've talked about, obviously their run game is really strong. So what do you just think of that challenge to, kind of anybody can run it on their team on the offensive side of the ball? Just what stands out and what excites you about that challenge?
Yeah, like Coach said, we got to handle the quarterback as well, which is always difficult when you got to tackle 11 guys instead of 10, or cover 11 guys instead of 10. But yeah, they got a plethora of backs back there. I know they got 32's back now. And, yeah, they run the ball hard. They do it often, and they do it well, so we're going to have to stop it.
Trevin, not all college athletes get to play in such a big rivalry game like this. How much have you learned to kind of appreciate being able to be a part of it?
Yeah. I'm very appreciative, very blessed to be in this position, and having been able to play this game for as long as I have, and having been able to play in this one for 4 years now has been tremendous. I couldn't have asked for anything else, but yeah, winning them's even better. So,
kind of same to you, Nick.
Can you repeat the question, sorry?
Just being able to be a part of such big games and in a rivalry that not all college athletes get to even be a part of something like this.
Yeah, it's important. Not being from Montana, it was weird looking in because all I had was like Oregon State, which was like kind of, it's not like a national big rivalry, but it's a big deal around here, like I said earlier, and it's pretty cool to be a part of it.
How do you handle emotions like leading up and then once the game gets going in a game like this?
It's just like any other game, just same. You take it on the same way you take on any other game, with a game plan and practice and all that, and then just go play the game.
Coach, I promise this is not an old comment, but having been in so many of these games, like how has the rivalry kind of grown on you, and being one of the few guys that has been such a vital impact in this series over the years, like what does that mean to you?
Yeah, it's always exciting having, like Trev, I grew up watching it too, and being in kind of a participant for a long time, different stages. I always kind of look forward to it. Always look forward to going down there. Last time we went down there, we got our ass kicked. So we hope we don't let that happen this time.
And then offensively, how have you seen maybe Tommy grown as a passer, if you have, and just he's been pretty efficient in the passing game this year. So like, what have you seen from when you first played him to now?
I haven't really analyzed it that way. They haven't. Their offense it's not a drop back passing offense, so it's really hard to analyze that way.
Coach, I felt like they had UC Davis, dead to rights, and then UC Davis, scores a bunch of points in the fourth quarter. What have you seen from that game that allowed UC Davis to have that success against them?
Davis, they kind of just managed the game when they were in here against us, and it worked out for them. They tried that a little bit last week in that game, or Saturday in that game, and they got behind and they ended up having to just kind of go for it, and they made some plays.
For both players, Nick, we'll start with you. They're undefeated on the season. Does that add any fuel to your guys' fire for a chance to knock them off the undefeated ranks?
I guess it'd be cool to give them their first loss, but still any other game.
Yeah, I don't think we were looking too much into that. We play big games around here a lot, play undefeated teams a lot, and just another game to us around here. So.
Trevin, how would you just describe kind of like the feeling in the stadium for these games? Like, I feel like when you're down there and you can kind of sense it from the fans, and like, what's it like being a player and what it feels like? Yeah,
it's obviously different when you're the away team down there, but yeah, the energy is always great. These two stadiums have immense amounts of energy, and I think each team feeds off that pretty well. Hopefully, we can be able to feed off that on Saturday.